Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing Extraction 2 on Netflix. Diving straight into the positives of Extraction 2, much like the first movie, the action is entertaining. There are some good shots and some good cinematography. It was okay. It's certainly done with good intentions, but I don't know if it's necessarily well executed. Despite my enjoyment and my investment into the gunfights, I couldn't help but find myself thinking that there was way too much shaky cam and it is overly reliant on the one-take routine. Doing it here and there is a nice treat. Doing it all the time feels really stale. And the film doesn't help itself. By going a little bit further, it could have been so much more. So many of these scenes are horribly lit and the set design just isn't that interesting to explore or behold. And that's what I mean by good intentions. They are trying. They have thought about it. But they could have done it better. And that's just the running theme of this movie for me. With almost every single scene, I couldn't help but think, this scene would be great if I could see it better. This scene would be great if the camera would just stay still. This scene would be great if it was 2 minutes shorter, and it is happening far too often. I don't think the film is ludicrously bad or really poorly done, it is just those very sharp edges need filing down a bit. But despite sounding like I'm complaining even in the positives, I do want to stress that the action is well done and they are really trying to entertain you. And in some aspects, they achieve that. But it is time to get to the negatives, and there are quite a few. This movie opens with an egregious plot hole. It just immediately asks the audience to take their brain out of their head, because there is no logic to it, it doesn't make any sense, and if that's what we're opening with, then I'm already gonna have to lower my bar and just take this for what it is, because clearly it isn't going to be a serious movie. These characters absolutely are going to be impervious to any kind of damage. And what's more annoying is that they really are 22 Jump Streeting this bitch. It is exactly the same as the last one. But this time they're trying to have a plot. And you don't care about it. That's not what worked about the first movie. What worked about the first movie was that a simple but effective action movie turned up and did its job. It didn't try to be anything more than it was. And that's why it was great. It was an easy switch your brain off, have fun action movie. This one now wants to be a switch your brain off action movie, but you do have to switch your brain on in places because of this ridiculous Russian family plot they've decided to tack on. Apparently that's enough to make this a different movie, apparently. But the characters are boring, they're forgettable, they have no urgency or importance to them. You don't care if they make it or not, and they even make dumb as hell decisions that you can't support. Some of the people that you're meant to like, you don't like. And this does extend to the villains as well. They really are just Call of Duty, Mother Russia, oh look, I've got a tattoo on my face, therefore I'm bad stereotype. And you just don't care. The film doesn't even try to make you care. It just wants to do exactly the same thing again, and in doing so, it feels like an aimless cash grab. And when they do just do what they did the first time with the pap 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 and the grunt grunt grunt, it's quite exhausting, to be honest, the more that they do it and repeat it, because it is just the same shit over and over and over. And like I said previously, it's not like they filmed it in the most stylistic way ever. This is not the hallway scene of Oldboy. Yeah, there's lots of one takes, and yeah, there's lots of shaky cam, but it's lit like shit, and the action really isn't that inventive. It's a lot of shooting guns and throwing grenades. Pretty much it. And you can't really invest yourself in it because there isn't any logic. Chris Hemsworth survives several missile blasts, and he even hides behind the gaping holes of a ladder to survive gunfire from a helicopter. Yeah, we're going with that level of stupid today. And please don't get me started on the helicopters, because clearly that's the only reason this film ever got made in the first place. I get the impression that the director wanted to make a helicopter action movie because every single set piece involves a helicopter. Again, know your limitations, because once or twice it was kind of fun. By the 7th helicopter, I just sheerly couldn't believe we were still doing it. And they really do act like they are the only 6, 7, 8 people in the world. Like, there are no news teams reporting on this. There's no SWAT teams coming in to close it down. No military investigations. Just while these helicopters shoot up giant buildings and destroy the planet. No, they might as well just be playing in a Call of Duty map, to be honest with you. There are no civilians anywhere, ever. Apparently the apocalypse happened. I don't know. Just to give you an idea of how uninteresting and how unoriginal any of this was, Mrs. IMO started doing uni work that she'd been putting off for a while. That's how disinteresting that she found this to be, and I'd argue she's way more into her action movies than I am. I'm the horror head, she's the action girl. The Matrix is one of her all-time favourite movies. If a movie like this was going to work for anybody in this relationship, it's probably her. And she would rather do uni work. It's just generic as sin. So I'm going to give Extraction 2 a 3 out of 10. I've seen this. I've just seen this before. It's literally any fucking action movie ever made. It has no charm, it has no stakes, it has no personality. It really is just action cliche after action cliche after pap 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 to grunt 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 to boom boom boom. It's just all the same bullshit. And when you've seen enough of them, and my god, I really have seen enough of them, they all fall into the same category of potential sleep medication. That's the only time I can imagine myself revisiting this, is if I'm having trouble sleeping at night, I might chuck this on in the background. But as an action movie that stands on its own 2 feet, it falls well and truly short of doing anything interesting, memorable, or worth writing home about. Give it a week and I will have forgotten this movie. It will just blend in with all of the other action movies. Which is a shame, because I really did enjoy that first movie. It turned up with an agenda, it got the job done, and it was interesting and exciting the whole way through. Now I'm starting to think it was a happy accident, because that just isn't the case here. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please do hit the comment section as well. Have you seen Extraction 2? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you haven't had enough of this crazy ginger, well, you can always click on these suggested videos right here and get yourself lost in an IMO wormhole. But if not, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.